You face Celtic, of course, on Sunday. Doesn't get much tougher than that. What are your thoughts going into the game?
Exactly that. It's a tough game. The best team in the country, so it's going to be very, very difficult. We'll need to be our very, very best to get anything. But we'll go in well prepared. We'll know what we need to do, and hopefully we can put in a good performance.
How significant could it be if you can take something from this match, given the position you're in at the moment?
Maybe for confidence and morale, yeah, it'd be huge. But in terms of the game, it's another game. There's points to be won, and we need points. So obviously, if you were to get something against a team of their quality, I think more for morale it would help. But in terms of the game, it's another game. 3 points to be played for, and as I said, we desperately need points.
How is morale in the dressing room at the moment? Because as you say, you desperately need those points at the bottom of the table.
Morale's fine. I think there's obviously been a massive upturn in players, obviously staff, manager. There's been good signs so far, and we've gone through a tough run of fixtures recently. We've not picked up the results we'd have liked, and maybe even performances would have warranted, but no, morale's fine. It's not an issue, and we know we're going to be in a tough fight now till the very end of the season, so it's one everyone's ready for.
Do you feel, there has been a few changes, do you feel that this squad is capable of securing their Premiership status this season?
No, yeah, it's definitely capable. It's one thing saying you're capable, it's another showing it. And I think for large spells when the managers come in, we've shown either periods in games, and we've had some good performances. But it's now coming into the part of the season that it's not just performances, the results that matter, and it's we can take certain positives from games like last week against Hearts, but ultimately we need points now on the board, so we need to match some of the good performance we had with results, and hopefully that can start soon.
Darren, do you think that Celtic will pose a different challenge now they're on to Olivia Lennon and not Rodgers?
I thought you were going to say to Hearts, and I was going to say absolutely. Yeah, they're two different coaches. I know both of them very well. I think Neil's gone in and tried to steady the ship, if you like, just for the time being, without probably putting in too much of his input. But I know him very well. He's a very passionate, very good coach as well. So I think gradually he'll try to put his own imprint on it. But you're going into a very successful team as it is, so probably, I think, listening to him, you probably wouldn't want to change too much too soon. So eventually maybe, but right for this weekend, probably not. It'll probably be similar to what we faced earlier in the season, but certainly the longer Lenny's in the job, he'll put his own imprint on it.
And he did say that the team were a bit psychologically fatigued with the changeovers. Do you think it's maybe a good time to face Celtic?
No, I don't think so. I obviously know what he's meaning by that, but Celtic as a club you're tested psychologically all the time. It's probably one of the most difficult parts of being a Celtic player. So no, I don't think there's ever, sometimes when they're off the back of a bad result, listen, they drew a game, that's the sign of the size of the club and how successful they are, that's kind of them in a rut, if you like. No, I don't think there's any particular time that's great to face them. Ultimately, we need to be our very, very best to get anything, and that's obviously what we'll aim to do.
And obviously it's a really, really difficult game this weekend, but after the international break it's quite a crucial game against St Mirren. Has the manager sort of stressed already how important that game's going to be?
No, for two reasons. First of all, because it's in 2 weeks' time. It's not significant just now, but after the Celtic game we won't need to stress how big that game is. The players know, the manager obviously knows, so we'll look after Sunday first against Celtic, and then yeah, you're right, we'll move on to a huge fixture after that.
Darren, after 3 losses on the spin, you're now squaring up to the champions this weekend. Many would say this is the kind of game you could do without. How would you counteract that?
it doesn't. You play every team obviously up until the split 3 times. So how the fixtures fall is neither here nor there. When we were kind of going through our run of it, we knew these games were coming up. They're very, very difficult games. They're games that we could have potentially taken more from, but we've not. So no, I don't. If you say do without, you play the same amount as everyone else, whether they're sporadic or they're all bunched together. So obviously we've lost 3 in a row, but there's a certain element of realism to that. If you were to lose them 3 games individually, it wouldn't be scrutinised as much. So as I said before, morale and things like that aren't an issue. But we go into a probably the most difficult game, and if we were to get a result, it would not just in terms of points, but in terms of morale would be fantastic. So very difficult, but I don't think there's ever a good time or a bad time. You play each other all the time, 3 times each, and whenever they fall, they fall.
How important is it to go into a game like this, especially against the champions, without any fear? Just go out and give it 110%.
I think you have to go into every game like that. I think fear is a good thing. I think it's how you use it. I go into a pitch feared that if you lose your man, you don't score or they score a goal. I think fear is a good thing. I don't think any footballer goes onto a pitch without fear. It's how you handle it. And there's going to be nervy and fearful moments through the rest of the season. It's how you handle it, and I think we've got a manager aided by a group of players that will handle it. So I'm not feared of being feared, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you fought to a really good battling 1-1 draw against Rangers at Dens earlier this season. How much heart can you take from that?
Yeah, I suppose you can take heart from it. It was a kind of a strange game. I thought in the first half, Rangers were actually in the second half. Sorry, we were very good. We obviously had to sit a little bit deeper. We contained them to very few chances. I think ultimately that's probably what you're going to have to do on Sunday, is try to contain the amount of chances they get. But yeah, of course you can take heart from games like that, knowing that you can stick together as a team and defend for large spells, because I don't think it's unrealistic to say that Celtic will have the majority possession regardless of what way we go about the game. So yeah, of course you can take heart from different performances like that, but how we go about the game will the manager will obviously decide. We're at home, so sometimes the best way of defending is to try and meet them higher up the pitch. But as I said, that's for the manager to dictate to us. But certainly there's been performances there we can look back on and take heart from.
From a Dundee point of view, what are the differences between the game against Hearts last week and the game against Celtic this week?
Ball will be on the floor probably. The game at the weekend was, a couple of people asked me, probably one of the more, I'm trying to think back, but one of the more direct games I've played in, and that's no criticism. I actually enjoyed it. Enjoyed the physical side of it. But obviously against a very physical team. There's many ways of playing football. Celtic will be, it sounds strange to say, but predictable, and you know that they're going to come to play and break you down. They're very, very fluid in their movement. How they interchange. Hearts were more direct. So the two teams will be night and day, but one face, one challenge, and this is going to be a completely different one. But it'll be a completely different test, basically, a completely different game. So now one we'll look forward to.
Looking at the fixtures before the split, out of the bottom 3, it's more than likely that Dundee have got the more difficult approach to these games. Is that a concern to you?
No, because it goes back to the fixtures, the way they fall. We looked, coming back from the break, we had a 6 fixture period where we were favourite, and you looked at the others. You have to face each other, that's the given. We've got obviously after Celtic, St Mirren, Aberdeen, St Johnstone. We'll look after Celtic first, but there's games there that we certainly will believe we can pick up points. Kind of, you look back going away to Tynecastle, let's say it was a month ago, 6 weeks ago. probably weren't fancy to go there, you pick up a result. Hamilton went up to Aberdeen, weren't fancy to get a result, they pick up a result. No, we'll go into every game and back ourselves, but we'll deal with that after Sunday.
Well, the game on Sunday coming after obviously St Mirren's played, does that change the mindset in any way? Does it maybe add a little bit more pressure having known St Mirren's result, or does it help you guys know what you need to do when you go out on the pitch?
You'd like to say no, it doesn't. It does, yeah. You'd be lying if you said you don't look at the other results, and if they weren't to pick up a result, you'd take heart. I think ultimately when you go on the pitch, you don't think about it, but certainly, yeah, if results are falling your way, you know a result can take you to a certain place in the table. So yeah, I'd be lying if I said I don't look at the other results, but we're not going to stay up by other people's results. We'll stay up by our own. So we'll look after ourselves, but of course you take an interest in what else goes around you.
It's obviously an old cliche, but you don't want to go into the international break on the back of a defeat. Again, does that kind of play in the mind that you're motivated to try and go into that little period off with a little bit of confidence?
No, not now. It's more something you would say after the game. If you've obviously got a win, it's nice to sit in it for a while. If you lose, obviously then you're kind of desperate for the next game to come. But no, it's not something you would naturally think about before the game. Be more, however the result and performance goes, you're going to be sitting on it for longer. So the better performance and result obviously is a nicer feeling.